everybody. We are into the thick of Jekyll and Hyde rehearsals today, and we're getting into some really kind of intense physical work. So today we're thinking a little bit about how our lovely actors here and how actors in general kind of take care of themselves, because acting is a supremely physical job. It takes a big toll on your body and your voice. So before you start a rehearsal day, what do you kind of like to do to get yourself ready to start, particularly on a really physical piece like this?
Warm up, definitely. Warming up is very important, both physically and vocally, because they're just as important, those muscles, as they are as your physical muscles. Yeah. So it's a lot of stretching, but not just loosening your joints and limbering up. It's warming up physically as well. So whether that means running around, jumping around, just getting your blood flowing and getting the energy up, because it's so easy to feel the energy crash much sooner unless you feel fully warmed up and fully stimulated in your body. Yeah. And I think that goes for before any performance, not just a rehearsal day. I think it's really important to apply those physical warm-ups. It's
almost like a bonding thing as well then, isn't it? If you warm up together, you kind of feel like, okay, we're getting in tune with each other. Yeah. We're you're leaving whatever has gone before at the door, and you're coming together to kind of start and feel ready to work.
To get that company feeling going as well. Just make sure we're all connected for that moment. To if there are any aches and pains, it's about letting each other know that today my ankle is really, let's be careful about that, or whatever, because injuries, unfortunately, they can happen. They can happen on in theatre, in anything like that. So it's about letting each other know, and then another person can take the slack up a little bit if you can't hold on to it. So it's not just about warming up, it's about just preparing for what's going to happen.
Amazing, yeah. And do you feel like that's something you kind of learnt on the job, or is it something that your drama school training kind of prepared you for?
Yeah, I felt really prepared in terms of I wasn't necessarily given this is what you must do, but that you've just shown so many different things that you sort of find what works best for you. So now I've got my whole little thing I will do every day before we come in. Yeah,
like a ritual almost?
It is almost like a ritual. It gets me in the zone, it gets you vocally ready. Nice. And especially playing Hyde, who has quite a lot of leaping around and everything, I really like to make sure all my limbs are ready for the action, you know.
Yes, the last thing you want to do is kind of be in the middle of a massive emotional scene and hear something go twink.
Yes,
yeah, fantastic.
But of course as well, not just body warm-up, vocal warm-up, very important. So at drama school, we were taught many different ways, and it is about just the actor's toolkit, picking one that works for you, and then getting that routine. So I have my own warm-up now that I will do when I get into a rehearsal space in the morning, or get into the acting space where we're performing for that day, and I'll do that warm-up, which will be running through a set vocal warm-up, and then bit of a body warm-up as well, and so we all have our own ones.
And I also think a cool down as well is often
cool down,
important, a wind down.
I'm really bad at forgetting that.
So it's easy to come off stage or to finish a rehearsal day and the adrenaline's high, or the energy is low if it's after a rehearsal day because you've used so much of your energy, and forget and just relax. But it's important to stretch out those muscles as much as you did in the morning before the rehearsal or before the show, to just make sure that you're prepared and ready and you're nice and loose for the next day, and that nothing gets stiff and creaky, and you're therefore restricted the next day about how much you can move.
I think it's quite important to reset as well. Sometimes, especially with you guys multi-rolling, sometimes you're in so many different sort of character, sort of physical states. It's nice to just reset back to this is me now.
So you don't take them home with you?
Yeah, so you're not walking around like a lunatic. You are just, which helps your body recover, and then you can get into it more.
Because this is a long, it's not a long rehearsal period, but it's a long tour. So it's not a sprint, is it? It's a marathon. So on tour, how do you, particularly if you're away from home, are there any kind of, give me your top tip, each of you, for staying well and healthy on tour? What's your top tip?
Hot water, honey and lemon.
Oh, you just stole mine.
I think that's
Really
very common for actors, but I would probably have to drink one of those every day because my voice. I know that I have limitations on my voice. I warm it up as much as possible, but I go so mad with it in performances that I do find it strains, and I am much easy to. I find I lose it easier than a lot of my fellow actors. It's just a me problem probably. So I just make sure to do the same.
I'm saying a little bit as well.
So
Not pushing it, not
hot
pushing
water
it.
and lemon and honey always.
So mine's probably like knowing your limits.
Yeah.
So even if that means, so I'm at Beth. I know the previous tour that I did. There's some times where I'd come off the stage and I'd go, right guys, I'm gonna go on vocal rest now because I need to keep this for tomorrow. So I would have to just. In the van driving along, no talking. That's it. Because you don't realize how much it does tire out after doing 2 shows every day. So it's about just knowing your limits and that's my tip.
Yeah.
Resting.
Yes, remember.
I know.
To rest.
We need to rest.
Yes.
What's your top tip?
Nothing exciting, but just drink water.
Yeah.
Like I constantly have got like multiple bottles with me, like because you just forget how like active you're being.
Yeah.
And you just whether it's sweat or like the amount you're using your voice, you can just forget to drink water, and then you come off a show and you're just so dehydrated, your throat's hurting, and
Yeah, like a piece of toast.
yeah. So it's so important just to keep that up.
Fantastic. So we will try to keep looking after you and keep kind of making sure that you're all well because we've got a lot still to do.
Yeah.
So drink water.